My band never stays. I kind of want to make more of those too. So just leave that alone. Good morning. Yeah, don't do that at home, kid. It was this close to hitting my creative grid ruler, and I would have been mad. Good morning. I'm just getting back from Loki's appointment. There's some updates. Let me. Oh, good. For the moon bag, I really like that bag. It it I literally cut out the bag and interfaced it before I did it, and there's no editing in that video. So you get my Jennifer Coolidge impression. Um, you get everything. She's my inner voice when I make a mistake. Um, and it was like an hour and 40 minutes or hour and 90. Good morning. I told Kendall I was going to send him a picture of Loki's wound, but we're weird like that. All right. So Loki went to the vet. They removed his stitches, but that's remember that was Loki's third surgery in 3 weeks. So they had to in the last surgery like make new skin. So they removed the stitches, but he's still in he still has to be having the cone of shame and sorrow, which he has the balloon right now. For 5 more days. He can't take a bath for 5 more days. This boy smells like peanut butter, sadness, grass, and dirt. But still, everybody wants to come up and hug him. So he has to have that. He still has to take the pain medicine and the medicine that kind of sedates him a little bit for 5 days. After the 5 days, we can take the cone off. We can take him a shower, like do what we got to do. But he still has to be crated for an additional 5 days. So he's limited on exercise and stuff like for a full 10 days. Just because they had to create new like skin area to tighten it up because of the last two failed surgeries, and they just want to take extra precaution. The wound looks good, but it does look like if he jumps on something, it can rip or whatever. So I'm all for it. He's upstairs in the kennel whimpering right now. I just gave him his medicine with peanut butter. He's probably going to hate peanut butter, but I did get myself a cappuccino because I need coffee right now and I didn't have the patience to make myself one. So they gave him a puppuccino, and this is how I know my dog is spoiled. Tell me your dog's spoiled without telling you're spoiled. I normally don't go to Starbucks. Kendall goes for me, and he went from the back seat to the front seat to look at them, and they're like, "Hey, Loki, here's your puppuccino." What? You don't even know my name. What? So, yeah, Kendall's like, yeah, he knows that he gets puppuccinos there. Learn something new about a dog. So he's good. He had his puppuccino. They gave him two, and they didn't give like the little miniature cups that I see other people. They gave him like a tall, and I'm like, can I get a tall full of whipped cream? I like whipped cream, so um I'm really thankful for over there, for them for over there. You always tip the baristas. They work really, really hard. Um, I just had to treat myself. It's Friday. I didn't make the coffee in the morning. I've been stressed about Loki, so I was like, let me treat myself to a nice coffee. My favorite place is actually not Starbucks. No, no hate to Starbucks. It's a small bistro. Is that what it's called when it's a coffee shop? That is like 2 blocks away from there, but I can't. They don't have a drive through, so I couldn't. I'm not a person that can leave Loki out for very long. He's a big boy, and he's not a very protective dog. But when he's in my car, not the SUV, a car, he gets really really protective, and he has this like overwhelming bark. And I don't. My biggest fear with him is I don't want people to be afraid of dogs because of my fear. So I want to show the lighter side of him, like playing or whatever. So went through the drive-through. I got myself a cookie cream mocha with like 3 shots of espresso. So I should be good for like 5 hours. Yes. Um, yeah, he took his meds with peanut butter this time because Kendall showed me the trick with it. Normally he doesn't do it with me, but he actually had a shot of like whipped cream from the puppuccino, so he was like cool with taking his medicine. But that's him upstairs. I know. They were like, "Oh, it's Loki." They gave him a tall. You know how much whipped cream is in a tall? That's yeah, he's a little spoiled. But that's good. Loki's doing so he's doing good. The doctor said that he was good, doing good, but the funny thing is they were trying to take a picture so it could be in his file, and Loki was like not having it after they took out the stitches. So when they left and I was on the phone with Kendall was like, "What, Shinobu, what?" Loki laid down and I was like on the floor, like taking modeling pictures of his wound. And they're like, "Yes, text them all to me." His wound looks good. It's not open. He's not bleeding. Even when they took the stitches out, there was like no trickle of blood, nothing. He does have. I noticed something. Okay, so when I take him to the vet, he likes to jump on my bumper of my car so I can scratch his belly, scratch his ears, because then he's like head to head with me because his paws are in the car, on top of the car, and whatever. So I was scratching his ears, and he was doing his like dog purr. He like purrs when you scratch mine his ears. And inside of this ear was like the natural color pink, but there was like red veins. I was like, oh no. I was like, well, we're here. So they told me that he has like a start of like a yeast infection in his ears. So they gave me medicine for that. Um, and they did the test for free because they know everything that we did went through, and I can't even express how kind that is because I know we paid a lot for all the surgeries, but they didn't have to do that. So like I almost cried there. They were like, you got to get reining in your emotions, woman. um but yeah, they did it. They said it's a normal thing that when a cat, dog, or any animal, actually even horse, when they have to have like the cone of sadness and shame on them, it's actually kind of normal for them to get kind of like a yeast infection or a ear infection in one of the ears. They said that I caught it really early. It was just really weird because she like sticks the Q-tip in and she pulls down her mask and she sniffs, and I'm like, is this if this is a part of vet training, I want to go in just on that day to sit in a class just out of pure curiosity. She's like the most coolest vet ever. Like I wanted to wake up Hope so she could went with me because Hope wants to be a vet, but she wants to be a vet. Like she wants to be at a zoo and work with foxes exclusively. Um yeah, but it was pretty cool. And all these people, like people stop and they want to hug him, play with him, and he just like lets him do whatever. Like a toddler came up to him and pulled on the ear that was hurting, and he just kept licking the back of the baby's hand. So he's a good boy. I was more surprised that the toddler was not like free, I guess. Yeah, like, but who smells like who sticks it and be like, yep, that's a yeast infection. That's yourself. What? What am I looking at? And then she like it got really awkward. I wish I would have filmed it. It would have been like the most hilarious. You would think it was a blooper. You would think that was my chopstick. You would think that I was not at a doctor's office. So like they were trying to get the things out. I was like, so they get the nurse. The nurse, he actually goes to Comic Cons and he sees me when I'm at Otakon and AwesomeCon. So he's familiar with me. And I have his head and they're trying to do it. So she's getting underneath him because Loki's like moving and she's like, I'm close to your crotch, Shinova. I hope this is okay. I'm like, it was okay until you mentioned it. I didn't think it was a very interesting pet visit, but he's upstairs in his kennel with his I refilled his air balloon, so that's even fuller. And he has no stitches in him. We have to take it easy and he has to stay in his crate. It's not a bad thing. We already Kindle he has like a huge, like someone says, he has like a Great Dane cage. The Great Dane cages, I swear to you, are the size of studio apartments in New York. And if you've been in New York and you looked at a studio apartment, you would laugh because it's absolutely true. He has enough to have 2 couch cushions in there, area that has my robe, where we could put his dog food, and he still has floor. Um, and you know what's the weirdest thing? And I forgot to ask out of pure curiosity. Maybe one of you can answer this. On these Great Dane cages, they just have like a flap on the top. He never tries to jump up to get out or push through the flap. It's not caged in on the top. It's like a tent. And that's him. He's bad. I agree, Leslie. You normally can smell it. I just seen the red lines on the pink thing and knew something was wrong. Okay. Okay, Valerie. I was like, but she just like she was wearing a mask and she just took down the mask. It was like I was like, okay. This is not normal. It's fine. Let's see. Yeah, you've seen them. They don't have a top though. Like so, what it's like those tents that you see at fairs. Like they go up. They have the bar, and then it's just like a really nice canvas over it, and it just blows my mind. This is the dog who jumps on absolutely everything. He's never tried to jump on his cage. It is the weirdest thing I've ever experienced, and I'm like, huh, interesting. New York City apartments are always interesting to me because like the areas that have the best view and they like monopolize the apartments, they're so small. They pay for so much for such a small place, but again, I understand why. It is a place to live. Like they have New York City is amazing. I don't if I didn't have any kids and I was single, I would live in New York working a million jobs to pay the rent because everything is at your fingertips. Like it's the best place to live. So I don't know. You know, you said ignore him. He'll be okay. Yeah, you already know. It pulls on my heart, like my heartstrings, like, cause like, I don't know. Like I told you, I really don't believe humans, we deserve dogs. They're just amazing creatures that love us unconditionally. And like, if I could foster a bazillion dogs, I would. Um, Kendall knows it too. There was a neighbor next door that they were actually giving away a dog, but I was just like, I don't have any room. But I guess my daughter got definitely has me in Kendall's heart because she asked around at school. She found a person that fosters and got the number. So at least we're doing something else right where our kids are being responsible like people that will try to help rescue a pet and get them to somewhere safe. So I'm really excited about that. I didn't like the circumstance because my daughter's 17. She's still an adolescent. She's still a child. And she was talking to adults in reference to a dog. And even though her heart is pure, that's called a spade a spade. There are people that do horrible things to dogs and they look for dogs that are victims for those purposes. And I live in Maryland. Baltimore is one of the worst areas to have dog fighting rings at. So I didn't want her to be a part of that. And something bad happens to that dog and she gets wind of it, she would never forgive herself. So I was like a mixture of being proud that she's trying to rescue a dog, but at the same time, a mixture of being anxious because she's not a little girl, but she's not yet a grown woman. So I'm trying to still prevent situations like this from happening. So I've had an interesting week. Yeah, the pet industry is super crazy. Yeah, it is more of a kennel than a crate. It's like because we have a crate and the crate's small. The reason why we got the kennel is because the crate for an extra large dog, they still can't reach. Danes cannot reach their legs all the way out. Actually, we were looking at for crates for our Irish setter because Loki's legs are long. Loki looks like a cane corso totally, but he's taller than any cane corso. That's where his Dane comes in, and same with his waist. His back hind legs are extremely tall. Um, they whenever we go to the vet, they always want us. They book us around the size of the room. They have one room that is meant for Danes and Irish setters and all of those things. By the way, I seen an Irish setter today, and like seriously, that owner looked the other way. That Irish setter would have been coming home with me. It was magical. I was like, "Are you a unicorn? What is going on? Why haven't I ever seen this dog before? I've seen it in commercials, but seeing it in person is glorious. Like, look up an Irish setter, guys. It's a unicorn of the dogs." Um, yeah. Yes, the conveniences of the city. Every time I go to New York, I have like like it's kind of I'm born and raised in California. One of the great things about California, everything is really super convenient. So when I first moved out here and I started visiting New York, it made me feel like home. Everyone's like they're two different things, but no, what makes the bustle of the street and having the convenience of everything is exactly the same. The traffic and the people being aggravated in traffic is the same to me. So I don't know. I really I like New York a lot, and anytime I have opportunity to go up there, I do. I'm actually planning something for Hope and me's birth. My birthday is July 24th, and Hope's birthday is July 26th. She's going to be turning 13. She has like Rapunzel hair, like her curls, if they're straight, go past her knees. So I was going to take her to a curly hair specialist to go get our hair cut, and then hopefully I can get different color and my roots that are like ridiculously long right now done, and take her to go get that real experience for a curly girl thing out there. That was going to be it, and just let her like experience New York. It is so different from Columbia, Maryland. We like I know we're not like little house in the prairie out like in Laurel, but we have like everything's crazy convenient, but everything's also really mundane. Like it's not the big city by any means necessary. Like I'm telling you, our malls close at 6 o'clock on a Saturday. Just let that sink in for a second. And like 4 on a Sunday during the summer too. so, so it's not like crazy busy over here. So I wanted her to see what it's like to have like that big city life for just a day or two. It's like it's the same reason why I like DC. DC has all the Smithsonian's, everything, every street there's something new. There's different places that you've never seen before. Tons of awesome restaurants. I don't know. I every now and again when I need that fix of city life, you just go to DC or hop on a bus or like drive up to New York. Yeah, I would have worked. Yeah, I like totally a million jobs just to stay in Manhattan and just live the life there. Like it's definitely a lifestyle choice, and I don't judge anybody that pays like a bazillion dollars to live in like a walk-in closet. Like I'm not mad at you. It's incredibly expensive, but at the same time, there's nothing like quite like that city. There, like I was telling Hope, I was like when we go get our hair done, we're gonna stay up until like 4 o'clock in the morning and order Chinese food. And she's like, "What?" I was like, "This only one of the cities that you could do this where you order food anytime you want and it comes." Like, yeah, Loki's a pretty awesome dog. He's a really good dog. Like they get excited when he comes. They also call him Loki Sebastian. His middle name is Sebastian. But they call we did it because of my son. My son's the only boy, so his middle name's Sebastian. He wanted something that was like because my daughter's name is Hope Dawn and I'm Dawn. So he wanted something to be named after him. So we took his middle name and then they're both Sebastian. So they're like, Loki Sebastian, how are you doing? And they're just like, here's pretzels, here's this. And I'm like, okay. He just hops on the scale magically. Just like, I'm here. They pet him. I don't know. Like even she was just saying like the fact that they were able to remove stitches from him and he doesn't even flinch, bark, or show his teeth. He was like, he is like the biggest, he's just a big baby. That's exactly what he is. But the only issue with Loki is he doesn't know how big he is. So sometimes that's really cute and endearing until he tries to sit on your lap and you're like, you weigh more than me. Please get off. Like, he's a good boy though. Yes, the Irish Wolfhound. I'm sorry, I said setter. Wolfhound. That dog, that's the one I seen today. And it is way bigger than Loki. I thought my dog was medium sized now after I've seen that dog. He went in before us and he had the big room. He was so nice and so sweet and just like holy, I need his owner to show me all the commands because he was like he said do not engage just like me. I'm like I had to call Kendall. I was like, see, use do not engage. That's what I use when I'm with Loki outside. If there's other dogs or if there's someone that he doesn't really quite trust, like he lets kids run up to him. all the time. But if there's like somebody that he doesn't quite trust, it's usually someone that is a more masculine and that's someone that's like 6 feet, over 6 feet. Then he has his eye on you, like, why are you by me? I tell him do not engage, and he'll just sit there not wagging his tail until that situation passes him by. Then he's like wagging his whole body again and having fun and prancing. But my dog's a showboater, man. Every time someone said he was pretty or handsome or something in there, he's like literally prancing. I'm like, I should have made you a show dog, like for real. Yeah. Our mall is like deteriorating too. Like it doesn't have anything. And then they did that whole Footloose thing. They they Kendall told me I need to stop naming situations with nicknames. Okay, so the Footloose thing, our kids cannot go to the mall by themselves unless they have an adult that's over the age of 18 that has a license or a ID. And I'm still blown away from that because I'm like, that is a rite of passage. What do you mean? You're footloosing the town. That sucks. Where else are they going to go? The mall has like it's not called Dave and Buster's out here. It's something else, but it's like Dave and Buster's and GameWorks. But it's like their version. Like you can't go. Like I'm in middle school or I'm in high school. Where the hell am I supposed to go? The park? Like no, you go get a movie ticket. You act like you're grown and you're not. You make horrible choices because you're a child. You're flirting, you're cruising the mall trying to check out other people. This is all normal behavior. And they just totally footloosed our town like a month ago. And I'm really pissed off for the kids. Yeah, that's exactly, Kelly. That's exactly why, due to teenager problems, and I get it. The thing is that they're not giving the kids the grace. I am a person that I have like a no tolerance policy. Like I hate when I feel something, I'm passionate, but my problem is that these kids were in lockdown for years. A lot of their social behaviors suck. Like a perfect example, my daughter graduated 5th grade, but she was online. So when she went to regular school in 7th grade this year, she did not get to have her 5th grade experience or her introduction to middle school. Same thing with Faith. Faith was in 8th grade. She didn't get her 8th grade graduation, and she did not get to go to her 9th grade year, freshman year. These kids are missed out on some really important social things, and they're acting out now because of it. Yes, we should do more things, but I don't think taking things away, like let's have more police presence. If that means Howard County gets to hire more rent-a-cops and police, that's cool because that's more jobs. And kids that are not really truly bad are generally afraid of police officers or security or authority figures. I just don't think taking everything away, you're just restricting their experience. We all experience this. It's like they're totally footloosing my town. It totally sucks because I'm like, what are they supposed to do? They're like, I don't know. I think it sucks so bad for them. Hey, hey Sandra. Yeah. All dogs have their limits no matter the size. Yeah, Loki's is male presenting men that are over 6 feet. And he's pretty good with other dogs. He's the only dog that he's kind of cautious about. And somehow I always walk into this dog when we're walking. And even if I change different hours and different courses, there's this mountain dog. It has like it. Okay, it looks like Lassie. It has like total long hair. Except this dog is huge. It's bigger than Loki. And like for some odd reason, Loki does not like this dog. He doesn't growl. Like it's really weird to hear him growl. Like it's like when he does, we all say ah because we never hear it. Because Roxy goes off like a firecracker. If I don't hear her growl once a day, I think something's seriously wrong with her. um, but yeah, he's a pretty good dog. Like toddler, like apparently people think they're. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird, but if I seen a ginormous dog again, I had a dog fear as a kid. I wouldn't be like, oh, let my kids pet your dog. Like I'll be like, this dog can legitimately eat my kid and just continue on with its day. But like he just thumps his tail and wags his whole body. He's good with kids. Yeah. I'm a city girl too. That's the one thing I miss about California is like this, like the complete city life. Like I can't order even on a Saturday or Friday night. If I was like, oh, I want pho, my last time to order something is like 8 o'clock for delivery or to pick up. I'm like, that is the weirdest. I'm like, I'm not getting old because I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we have to have that kind of cue to realize that kids did not have these big social events. Like my niece Drew, she graduated and they basically, because they couldn't have it at the school because of COVID, everybody drove around in the city honking horns at people. Everybody would come out with their mask and their kids in their dress attire, and people would honk horns, but she didn't get any of the things. Like, think about it, graduation is huge. Not only do you the ceremony, which I'm going to tell you right now, when Faith does it next year, I'm going to be crying hysterically. Like, I'm going to be over the top, mom, because that's my baby. Like, that's my that's my baby. Um, to think that my niece didn't have that, she didn't get to have the prom, she didn't get to have all these things that are like really important when we all talk about certain things that they didn't have. It sucks. It sucks. Hope didn't get to get fifth grade. Faith didn't get her eighth grade graduation. And why it's the Footloose situation has me doing it, thinking about it. And right now they're prepping for my son. My son's graduating fifth grade this June. So they're like prepping it like for pictures. Like, we're supposed to send them baby pictures so that I can have their will. And I'm like, this sucks because Hope didn't get that. So they have these kids that didn't go to school. They were doing online schooling for 2 years and kind of got away from like being like, when your kid goes to school religiously from pre-K to whatever, they kind of get the understanding of when a teacher says no, they mean no. Turn in your homework at time out, take fives, all that stuff. For 2 years, they didn't have any of that, you know? It's bound to have some issues. We're bound to have some issues, but with that we shouldn't be blaming and penalizing the children for being children. We need to be adulting. We need to hire more people. I think we just need to be adulting more. I don't know. I feel like they'll pay a ton of money for a fireworks show, but not put the money into education or allowing the kids to do normal adult things or kid things. But that's just my personal opinion. Yeah, their reactions are people never seen something like Loki, so yeah, they always want to do it, like touch him, and it's a knee jerk reaction. Kendall is a way better at acting with that because Kendall is a great like person. Like, everyone loves Kendall. Like, he like naturally talks to people all day, every day. And that's who he is. Me, I'm a basement dweller. So when I see people by me, I'm like, why are you by me? Like, I'm a basement dweller. Like, our personalities are different. It's different when I'm with around sewing community. You guys see me and met me at Florida or in Texas, then you understand. It's because it's like-minded people, like people that like fabrics, people that like to sew, and just like it's a whole different ball game. It's like, oh, I found my people. Like, when Star Wars people, when we start talking about stuff, we get all amped up about it. It's like that. But regular people on the street, I'm just like, why are you by me, sir? Like, yeah, the drive-by graduations, it literally made me cry. No, who's barking up there? That's Loki. Roxy, she's just, that's Loki. That's his crate. Yeah, yeah. The driving in DC was crazy. I was like, yeah, Kendall, if you want to go and do that one, I DC driving it, the only thing, DC reminds me of Pasadena, California. And if you're from California, then Pasadena is notorious for one-way streets. And they have like major parades in Pasadena. So like DC's the same way. And I'm like, can we stop with these one-way streets? There's nothing. I don't like roundabouts and I don't like one-way streets. So me and DC are not copacetic on this because they're like, oh my God, everything's a roundabout. And then you always get some driver that's like, no, sir, you just stopped. You don't just get. So let me talk about this moon bag. This is the one I made. So I actually did my a fabric faux pas. I don't like mixing cork with vinyl. I don't know why. It just cork is a very like organic, beautiful print, but this cork matches really well with 626. So I was like, why not? And this is So Girly Fun zipper she gave me for her the grease round, and it is gorgeous. And I only have like 12 inches left. I'm going to have to order more from Susie, but I look at how beautiful that goes. So, and I also have the little stitch in a pineapple. So if you watch the tutorial, you already know that the inside of my lining has stitched with pineapples. So I had to find pineapples. Isn't that cute? The pineapples come from Blue Calla. I was like really excited about them. So the bag is this is the large. When you open it up, it's really funny because everything's reversed when I'm watching it. So I'm like all discombobulated, like, okay. And when I open it up, you have a credit card slot. And the cool thing about these credit card slots, you use Shape-Flex 101 or Sofuse, and then on the actual card slots itself, you use Decaville Light, and it gives it a nice crisp look. And then you have nothing on this side. Now, after making this would be really cool if you did like a mesh zipper with tabs. I think it would be really cool. Then on the inside, you have one zipper pocket, and you just have a nice rooming thing. I would actually make another mesh pocket right in here, and I would probably put a back pocket, but either with the facing or a hidden one, like going right here where I have the whole pocket. I think a zipper going up and down that's hidden, like where you do a zipper facing instead of an overlay, you could slip your whole cell phone then, and it's right on your body versus having an overlay. Personal preferences, but after making my second one, I was like, it would really be cool to have a zipper pocket right here. Stick my phone, nobody knows, or my candy, so the kids don't see it. And I'm just like, it's a nice size. There are pictures of my daughter wearing it, and this 626 actually lights up. It's pretty cool. Hold on. See? It lights up. It's a nice size. In the group for testing, they said the small is really small, but I feel like the small size, looking at the dimensions, would be really great for a elementary school. And I actually think it'll be a really cool bag to have during the summer. You can put your little coins, money, whatever, and go. If you put everything water resistant canvas or waterproof canvas, it'll be a really cool bag. You can wear it as across the shoulder. That's how I would wear it. Like across the body, or a hip bag, or just however you feel is fit. I think it's why I like this bag. There's a lot of fanny packs out, but the reason why I like this one, it looks like the vintage TVs, like from the 60s and the 50s, doesn't it? I was like, why did she name it the moon bag? And I was like, oh, it comes together really nice. I do recommend for this side to have lighter weight, because you're going to do like a pinch fold over situation. The first part of the video conquers this, and after you do this bag comes together easy peasy. I know it says the pattern's for intermediate, but I really believe a beginner can do this. It doesn't have a lot of components. It's just measuring and making sure that you have the right pieces to go which way. There is on page 21 of the page 20, I don't even have the pattern by me. Page 21 of the pattern, you get to pick which, you get to pick if you're going to want this to close on the left or the right hand side. So just be cognizant about that, because you're going to be putting one side that has your adjustable strap and one side that has your D-ring. And that, again, is personal preferences. But just if you get this pattern, highlight page 21, and it says in the notes in a red area, so you can know to put it to your left or right. The designer is lefty, so she naturally makes everything more for left-handed people than right, and she has to be cognizant or reminded that there's right-handed. What's great about her is because I predominantly use my left hand, I never notice it until somebody else says it. So but you could do it either way. Just pay attention if you get the pattern. page 21. I did put the link in the description. There's no affiliate links. I just tested it and I wanted to show you the bag, and I'll show you the one I did in all leather tomorrow. I like that one. It says, it has a patch on it that says Camp Asylador. It's like a total, it's a total Lord of the Ring one, but it's like covert Lord of the Ring. Like only people that watched it or read books will be like, I know what that is. So it's super cute. It's a really good fun bag to grab and go. I think, and I had another idea. If you're a dog person, put a grommet in here and put your rolls of your poop pads in there, like the poop bags. What? You even do it on the back. Put a grommet in the back, make a little zipper compartment, put your poop bags in there. Just like, oh. It could be your bag that you're walking your dog bag. You can put little treats, line it with like water resistant or waterproof canvas. Just saying, it would be cool. Just like a little poop bag. I was thinking about that when I was looking at Loki today. I was like, oh man, if I had a fanny pack and just had like the poop bags. If you don't want it in the front, which I completely understand because you'll put a really cool piece, it'll be really good in the back. The gusset's not wide enough to have. I mean, you could put an eyelet to pull it out too and just have like, see, this my brain goes into modifications immediately. So if you did like a mesh pocket here, like a zipper pocket, you could put the rolls, because you know how they're really thin. You could put an eyelet and just put it in there, feed it in there, zip up the rolls, and it's still a functional bag. But now you have a poop bag that you can take them out. Modify. Yes. I hate floppy card slots too. Sometimes they have a purpose though. In backpacks, I usually leave them loose because normally when people have them and they're using it for vacation, they're at Disney World or Hershey Park, so they like to jam a million cards in there. The looser the card slot, the more you could jam. The more firm the card slot, it gets a little bit harder to fill it up. So it's like hit or miss with me. So yeah, it could be for that too, Kelly. Yeah, he probably is, Terry. That's why I'm like, he that shall not be named. Like, and also his medicine's probably kicking in because I hear him like whining down. He has faith up there too, so. But he is a mama's pup. So yeah, I thought, I don't know, I really like the way this is shaped. I do appreciate the wings, and let me just make sure you have the wings the straight edge on going towards the top, because the way these are it wraps around your body naturally. And whatever you do, don't just put like the cork or vinyl. Put that little bit of interfacing. I did explain in my video that I use ShapeFlex 101 for the inside, because sometimes vinyl and cork naturally has a stretch to it and you just want that extra reinforcement. You could put a rivet through here as well. I do too. Blue's my favorite color, so most of my bags are like blue, in the blue family. You could put a rivet in here, but the way this is sewn down, because we based it on, which is really not a basting, because like I explained in the video, and then we stitch it and then we turn it right sides out, you have like 3 stitches in it. This bag ain't going anywhere. But if you want to, you can. It should be fun. And if you don't have the matching strap, you can make your own strapping. Like I should have made it out of the cork, but I didn't have a long enough piece. So, and I didn't want to have like patches. But yeah, I think this is like a really fun bag to make and really cute. And I think that you can have a lot of fun modifying it. So I say go for it. Thumbs ups for me. It comes together really fast. Like I think, like literally, I think I timed myself from cutting it out to fusing it to even making the video. It took under 2 hours. So it doesn't have a lot of interfacing. It doesn't have a lot of pieces. The most complicated part is the front panel, but I do walk you through it and I give some tips. My biggest suggestion is don't overstretch. And the pattern, it suggests that you can snip into the zipper tape. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're on Facebook, I know a lot of you aren't. You've been seeing a lot of fails right now where people turn something out and they're like, why is my zipper doing that? You clipped into your zipper tape. 100%. Don't do it. It's going to unravel. That's what it's going to do. No matter how much flames you throw at that bad boy, it's compromised. So do not do that. Just I show you in the video how I do it. I'm squishing, I'm moving. I have a bazillion clips on a small thing. It's worth it. I even mentioned that you can do get like 1/8 of an inch tape and put it around. I see people doing that and then clip. There's a million things you could do, and you won't see it. Like there's no crinkle. There's no crinkle because you don't need to you don't need to do that. Okay. Now you can snip into this. You just have to be cognizant about doing 1/4 of an inch on this piece, but I didn't do it. You'll see it. Working with the materials that you're comfortable with and that you work on a day-to-day basis will suit this bag. So if you use a lot of waterproof canvas, you can make this whole bag out of waterproof canvas and it'll be pretty amazing actually. So I think it's a fun bag to make. The designer put a lot of love into this pattern. And I'm going to say the name wrong. It's Anita Tali Designs. It means needle in Zulu, but like I barely say my name right. But she put a lot of love and work into it. I've made other patterns from her on my channel. She's very detail orientated, and she's really receptive to feedback. And again, if you hear me saying that, it's because not everyone is receptive to feedback, but she is. She worked hard through this. Like where she is in South Africa, they have like a lot of rolling blackouts. She worked through several blackouts where there were like no lights for 8 hours. So I'm not trying to give too much of her business. I'm just saying that the reason why I'm like always like going hard for designers is sometimes people don't see what happens behind the scenes and how much time, effort, and they give themselves into a pattern. So I was like, yeah, this is an amazing pattern. I didn't make the small, but I did make 2 larges. I usually gravitate to the large size. So if you're not new to my channel, you already know if there's 2 sizes, I'm like, yeah, large. It's a nice size pattern and it comes together quickly. I think that what you're going to learn, how the skills that you're going to learn in this is you're going to learn how to set a zipper inside of a panel. That is your most complicated part because this is one piece and it's not, you have a cutout and you're doing it. Once you hit that, you're done. Everything else are skill sets that you already have, like binding, putting in a gusset, basting, everything else. This is the only skill set that you're going to have that's different. And I say go for it. I like getting patterns to learn new methods. It makes me happy. It's like when a Star Trek, like not a convention, but like all day marathon comes on and you're like, yes. That's how I feel with patterns. Like it makes me happy when I'm learning something brand new, and you'll learn a lot from this pattern. That one thing alone will help you in your sewing journey in case you want to modify something else with a similar thing. So who else has one like that? I know Sew Sweetness has 2. One is the Chickadee bag, has that same inset, and there's another one. I want to say something with a W. It's a small bag, but it has an inset like that. And I think it's a great skill set to learn. So yeah, that is all. Today I'm going to finish editing up the video that I made yesterday. I have 2 orders I need to get out. So I need to make 2 thank you gifts. And then I'm going to start organizing because I need to put in my new motor for my free arm sometime this weekend. So the widget, thank you. Yes, it is the widget. So have you ever done the widget? And that's a great pattern, by the way. And I've finally seen the video. I own the pattern, but I like her videos. She gives a lot of tips, but it's the same inset. Once you learn that thing, you're going to try to put it in everything. Absolutely everything. So I hope everyone has a really good day. And it's Friday. We made it. I'm going to go upstairs because my kids are off randomly. No reason. And And I'm gonna just get everything all ready for the weekend. And I think he's asleep. He that shall not be named. And everyone have a really good day. And I will be back tomorrow, and I will show you the bag that I made tomorrow for the Lords of the Ring. And I made it all leather. So yeah. Everyone have a really good day and a good Friday, and stay safe and have fun sewing. Bye.